So, hey yo, this is Eugene from Kenya, and today I have a given topic that I want us to talk about. So, I just want you to give me your ears and just let's talk about it. So, there's this issue that has been always going around, something to do with the Africans getting their reparations. Since we are the people who suffered during the slave trade, and the result of it is our brothers and sisters from the United States and other parts of the continent outside Africa. You understand that? So there's this guy called Jeff Maddy. Jeff Maddy is an African American in the United States, and he argues, which I totally 90% agree with them, because you see, we as Africans, we are saying that we want the reparations because the colonizers or the Westerners tried to, they enslaved us, they put our parents, our forefathers in a given conditions that were so inhumane. So the thing is this, the guy argues that why should we Africans also be part of paying the same? Because our African kings during that time, because we had kingdoms. I could name a couple of kingdoms. I jotted them down. We have the Dahomey, we have the Oyo Kingdom, sorry, the Oyo Empire, we have the Ashanti, which is now the part of Ghana. We have the Kingdom of Congo. So I want you to tell me this thing. African kings used to do what is called pioneering. So during historical times of slave trade, I want to tell you what's called pioneering. So pioneering is this situation where African kings could sell people to the colonizers. These people, they could be debtors, okay? So our African leaders played a part in selling our own Africans to the colonizers. So, which makes us to argue that they also played a role in making Africans suffer. So it's Africans against Africa because African leaders played a part in doing this pioneering. So while we want the compensations, should Africa be part of it? That's a question that we should ask ourselves, because historically our kings, that's talking to directly to our African brothers and sisters, we played a part. Our kings played a part in perpetrating slave trade. So when we're talking about reparations, should we also include Africa in paying reparation? Let me hear what you have to say in the comment section. So I want you to watch this video. Yes, I want you to watch this video and tell me what you think in the comment section.
All right, so I've got a question for everybody that keeps wanting reparations. So at the time of the slave trade, right, different African kingdoms had all types of slaves. By the way, these slaves were black. And these different kingdoms would go to war, and then the prisoners of war they would take and make them slaves. In addition to that, other kingdoms would purposely go to war in some situations to capture slaves and sell them. So in a lot of cases, the slaves that were actually sold were captured by other black kingdoms, tribes, whatever you want to call it. So what is the reason you guys are not up in outrage and messaging African governments and countries asking for reparations from them? Because they're just as big of perpetrators as the people in the US. African tribes and kingdoms had slaves. They had them, they sold them, they went and conquered other tribes and captured those people and sold them as slaves as well. Why do we only want to see reparations from the US? I wouldn't say that's fair. Now in reality, we just need to let it go. Because everybody that committed those atrocities at that time, they're all dead. Everybody alive today had literally nothing to do with it. So the best thing to do is just move on and let it go. But since so many of you don't want to let it go, help me understand why you don't want reparations from African countries and we only want to focus on the racist white people in the US.
Okay, my opinion is this. I feel like Africans were still innocent about this, okay? Because remember, we had those leaders who collaborated with the colonizers, and we have those leaders who resisted the colonizers. The problem is that our African leaders, they were lured with gifts, and they thought that this is everything, and so they gave up everything, including African, and they gave them as slaves. You understand? Because they were possessively of material things. Entirely, this is not Africans. They're all of Africans who did this, okay? Because majority of the Africans didn't have power because the power was left in the hands of the kings that time. So we can't say that Africans need to pay for the reparations. You understand that? Because it was the leaders, and the leaders, if we put a ratio between the leaders and the people in the kingdom, we find that the ratio could be something like 100 to 1 or 1,000 to 1. So 1,000 civilians ratio to one king. So you understand that that's so that's not really making sense when we say that Africans need to pay for the reparations, because it was our kings. Back then, Africans didn't even know a lot of things like today, so we can't entirely blame Africans. And you find that people like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, these are the people who tried to open up African leaders' eyes, and they told them that no, these people are fighting against you and you should not accept these gifts that they're giving you. So that's when Africa started waking up. But till then, even the African kings who were there were not, I can say they were not that much well equipped mentally in handling such kind of things. So it would be so bad to argue that Africans need to pay for the reparations. The people who caused the problem are the colonizers, period. And if there's something that they need to pay, if we could estimate a given amount, it will be really so much high amount of money. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, and that's my opinion. Africans, we were innocent. Our leaders didn't know anything. They were just used. Okay, and that's what these people still do until today. So that's what you need to know. That's what you need to understand. That Africans, we are still innocent. Okay, and there is no reparations that you're going to pay, and Africa will not be involved in any reparation. Look back historically, we are using logic. Okay, we are using logic. The perpetrators are the one who should pay the reparations. I don't want to call their names, but they are the people who should pay for the reparations. So this is the time to give shout out to my people from the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and all African as a family. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time in watching this video, and I highly appreciate you. Salute. See you in the next video.